Well, it's a result that Arsenal will be delighted with, obviously in the hunt for the top four, as are Manchester United, who, as we mentioned, weren't very good yesterday. Ralf Rangnick coming out after that draw against Newcastle saying, the good thing is we got a point, but the performance needs to be better, was not a step forward. We had physical games coming up against Burnley and Wolves. Results are on track, but we have to get better than what we showed. Mark, let's start with you and just that performance against Newcastle. How would you sum it up?
The first half was absolutely terrible, and it was as though nothing had changed since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had left. It was a Solskjaer-style performance, and it was just, every single player on that pitch was awful. That Maguire and Varane were terrible, and I think the one thing that slightly concerns me about Rangnick is that he's had 4 games in charge now. He's not managed to score more than 1 goal in any of those games. They played Norwich, Crystal Palace, a narrow 1-0 win, Young Boys in the Champions League, and Newcastle. They played some pretty average teams, and they've looked pretty average and pretty poor in those teams. And I think that, a new manager is supposed to get some sort of bounce from his team. There's not been any bounce with Rangnick. So, we're all being told that he's got a fantastic reputation as a coaching genius, but we're now going to find out. We are now going to find out how good Ralf Rangnick is, because he's got a big challenge on his hands at Man United. He's got a lot of players there that haven't been performing for a long time. So, is he as good as people say he is? Or if he isn't, United have got a real problem, because they've given this guy 6 months to turn it around, and then he will play a part and choose the next manager. But what happens if he fails? What happens if Ralf Rangnick is as bad as Solskjaer in terms of results? What sort of mess are they going to be in then if we get to March and they're out of the Champions League, they're nowhere near the top 4, and the guy that's been selected to help pick the new manager is having as bad a time as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because the players aren't listening to him either. So that was a bit of a concern last night. He didn't look very animated on the touchline. He wasn't making the sort of difference that you'd expect. He's not a Klopp or a Guardiola on the touchline, let's say that, but he spent most of his time rubbing his forehead and wondering, shaking his head, what was going on.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.